call came at 2:17 a.m. Not a ring, not urgency. Just a vibration against wood. Soft, repetitive, deliberate. I stared at the ceiling for a full 10 seconds before moving. Something in me already knew. This wasn't random. Nothing that happens after midnight ever is. The screen lit my face in pale blue. Unknown number. 3 missed calls. A message. No greeting. No context. Just one line. You should check your safe. I didn't breathe. Didn't move. Didn't think. Because something deeper had already reacted. Something. Ancient and quiet and precise. Instinct doesn't scream. It whispers. And it was telling me something had already been taken. The house was silent. Too silent. The kind of silence that doesn't belong to sleep, but to waiting. I walked past the hallway where family photos smiled back at me. Fake, curated happiness trapped in glass. My father's arm around my shoulder. My mother leaning in. My brother in the center. Always in the center. I reached my room, closed the door, locked it, then crossed to the wall. The painting came off easily. It always did. Behind it, the safe. Digital. Untouched. At least on the outside. My fingers hovered over the keypad. For a second, just one, I hesitated. Because once I opened it, whatever version of my life existed before this moment would be gone. I entered the code. A soft click. The door opened. And just like that, everything inside me went quiet. Empty. Not disorganized. Not broken into. Just empty. Cash, documents, bonds, gone. Every single thing I had been building. Quietly. Independently. Over years of calculated distance from them. Gone. No mess. No force. Which meant only one thing. They didn't steal it. They took it. Like it was theirs. The memory hit me before the logic did. Dinner. Last night. The family reunion. My father smiling too much. My mother watching me too closely. My brother, unusually quiet. I didn't notice it then. Or maybe I did, and chose not to. Because denial is comfortable. Truth isn't. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring into the hollow metal box. My reflection stared back from its inner surface. Distorted. Unfamiliar. I thought I'd feel anger. Rage. Something explosive. But what came instead was colder. Cleaner. Understanding. This wasn't impulse. This was a decision. Discussed. Agreed upon. Executed. Together. Footsteps outside my door. Slow, measured, a knock. Then the door opened before I answered. Of course it did. Boundaries were always optional here. My father stepped in. Calm, relaxed, almost amused. His eyes went straight to the open safe. Then to me. And then he smiled. Not kindly, not apologetically, but like a man who had just won something he believed he deserved. We were going to tell you in the morning, he said casually, stepping further inside. I said nothing, because silence makes people reveal more than questions ever could. He folded his arms. We had a discussion. As a family, a pause, carefully placed. We voted. I looked at him then, really looked, and for the first time in my life, I saw him clearly, not as a father, but as a man, a calculating one. You can't live here for free anymore, he continued. You've been comfortable long enough. My jaw didn't tighten. My fists didn't clench. I just listened. We invested that money, he added almost proudly, in your brother's college. It's a better use. There it was. Not theft. Justification. Always the worst kind of betrayal. I nodded once. Slowly. As if I were processing something small. Something insignificant. Inside, though, every piece was aligning. Every memory rearranging itself into something sharper. More honest. You should understand, he said, stepping closer. Family supports each other. I let out a quiet breath. Then reached for my phone. My hands didn't shake. My voice didn't break. When I spoke, it was level, controlled, detached. Then you won't mind what happens next. He laughed. Actually laughed. Like I'd just made a joke. Like I was still the same person he thought he could control. He didn't ask what I meant. Didn't need to. People like him never believe consequences apply to them. But they do. They just take time to arrive. And when they do, they don't knock. I stared at the empty safe one last time, then closed it, gently, like sealing something. Not loss, not pain, but a decision. And that's when I made the call. The first call I made wasn't emotional. It was procedural. "Good morning," I said when the line connected. "I need you to pull every document tied to my name, property, accounts, trusts, everything." A pause, then my lawyer's voice, alert now. "Is something wrong?" I looked at the closed safe. "No," I said quietly. Something just became clear. By 9:12 a.m., my phone started vibrating. Not once, not twice, endlessly. I let it ring. Watched the screen light up over and over again. Mom, Dad, brother, again, again, again. 37 missed calls. I didn't answer a single one, because timing is everything. The second call I made was shorter, more precise. "I'm ready," I said. "Are you sure?" my lawyer asked. I looked out the window. My father's car was still in the driveway. Of course it was. He had nowhere to go. "Not yet." "Yes," I replied. "Send it." At 9:47 a.m., the first message came through. From my brother. Not words, a voice note. I played it. Static at first, then panic. "What did you do?" he shouted, his voice cracking. My admission. It's gone. The payment. It reversed. I just got an email." I stopped it there. Didn't need the rest. I already knew. At 9:52 a.m., my mother called again. I answered this time. Not out of concern, but curiosity. Her breathing was uneven. "Mujhe samajh nahi aa raha?" she whispered. "The bank. They're saying the transfer was unauthorized. That the account, it wasn't ours," I finished for her. Silence, heavy, terrified. You did this?" she asked. I didn't respond immediately. Let the question sit. Let it sink. Then calmly, I corrected it. Footsteps, fast this time, not measured, not controlled. My door slammed open. My brother stood there, phone in hand, face pale, eyes wide with something I had never seen in him before. Fear. "You ruined everything," he snapped. "Do you even realize what you've done?" I tilted my head slightly, studying him. "No," I said. "I fixed what you took." Behind him, my father appeared, but he wasn't smiling anymore. That part was over. "What did you do?" he asked, his voice lower now. Careful. Good. He was learning. I stood up slowly. No rush. No tension. "Remember when you said we were a family?" I asked. He didn't answer. "Family supports each other," I continued. A flicker in his eyes. Recognition, regret. Too late. "I've been supporting this family for 3 years," I said. Quietly. My brother frowned. "What are you talking about?" I looked at him. Really looked. "You think your tuition just paid itself?" Silence. Crushing. My mother appeared in the hallway now, hands trembling. "What are you saying?" she whispered. I took a step forward. Every word measured. "That account you emptied?" I said. It wasn't savings. A pause. It was a holding account. My father's face changed. Not confusion. Understanding. The dangerous kind. "You used our money?" he asked. I almost smiled. "No," I said softly. "I used mine." The room shifted. Energy collapsing inward. "Everything in that safe," I continued, "was documentation. Proof. Transaction logs. Transfers. Every rupee. I've been covering for this house." My brother shook his head. "That's not possible." "It is," I cut in. "And it's registered." I turned to my father. "You didn't just take money last night. A beat. You signed off on theft." My phone buzzed again. A message this time. From my lawyer. "Funds restored. Secondary action complete." Perfect. I looked back at them. At 9:45, I said, "Your accounts were flagged." My mother gasped. My brother stepped back. "And reported," I added. My father didn't move, didn't speak, because now he understood the full picture. "You taught me something important," I said quietly. "Last night," a long pause, "that decisions made together have consequences. For the first time, his voice broke. Please, he said. Just one word. But it carried everything. Authority gone. Control gone. Just a man. Realizing he miscalculated, I held his gaze, unblinking, unaffected, then reached past him, picked up my bag. I'm moving out, I said. No anger, no emotion, just fact. My brother tried to speak again, but the words didn't form. My mother sank against the wall, and my father, he stepped aside, instinctively, like he already knew he had no right to stand in my way anymore. So I walked past them, through the hallway of smiling lies, out the front door, into the quiet. So I didn't look back, because the truth is, they didn't lose me that morning. They lost me the moment they voted, and I simply made sure their decision was final.